What is up, everybody? How are you doing? I had a great day today. I hope you all did the same. I am excited about the views and the new subscribers. Thank you. If you haven't already subscribed, please hit that button and like the video. I'm trying to break into the algorithm, build my channel. I've done this a few times and then I'll back off. Things in life happen and then I'll have to recover from that or get my rest or work harder, whatever. It draws me away from the channel. And um, going through this journey, I have been doing the videos as I've still been in it. So in doing that, it gives you the authenticity of my journey. It's very real, it's very raw. There's a lot of my material for those that are new to watching me that is private right now. I can't post everything or make everything public because of the court case that I just went through. I have previously made public all of the CPS interviews. Um, some things having to do with my son directly. There's still a lot of things posted, but the channel started in October of 2023, and videos up until from the beginning of my channel till the middle of last summer are hidden, and then things involving CPS have been hidden, most of it, and then all of the phone calls between me and my son that happen every Saturday are hidden. I have a couple of things on Patreon that are not on this channel. And I did start Patreon to have an extended and exclusive content that I do charge for. However, going into that Patreon journey just revealed a couple more enemies, two to be exact. And I am not in the spirit of fear. So when you have been called upon by God, as I feel that I have in my lifetime, and I answered the call, some of my videos are on that too. If you feel called, fear does not come from God, fear comes from the devil. So if you try to insert fear into my life, or you are a fear monger, period, you try to get me in a low vibration or pull me down to scare me or anything of that sort, I'm not with it. I'm not with it. I'm not with you. If I've given you a million chances and you pull that card, it's the final straw. Point blank, period. So that happened with my channel, and so I just turned away from that. I do have things posted there, though. There is exclusive content on there. I never lied about that. And I did post all of my CPS stuff there originally. So it's still there. It's just private. One day I will get to release everything free and clear of this when everything is made right. But for now, I'm still being patient, waiting on God's timing. So my story will be told in its entirety one day. Best believe. We just have to be patient on when it's safe to do so. But God will tell me when, and hopefully I'll make I'll make some money off of it in the process. But the point of my channel was to reveal things about people that have done injustices to me, and along the way to give people that might go through similar things or just hard times in their lives pointers on how I have made it through. The number one thing being God, and I have been working just with Him, and that's it. I have cut everyone out of my life except for my youngest son, and that is now reduced to just phone calls on Saturday, really, and I can pass some gifts to him for the time being. So, yeah, it's been a long journey. I was supposed to give up. That's what people had wanted to happen. They wanted me to be so isolated and ostracized, and my reputation ruined. Everything was supposed to be taken away from me, and I was supposed to crumble and wither away. But with God, even if you want to throw in the towel, He throws the towel right back at you and says, let's get it together. We're not done yet. And that's what I've done every step of the way. And that's what I'm trying to teach you guys to do. So my narcissist videos have done pretty well in the past, and I haven't made one of those in a while. So that's what I'm going to do today. And this time it's going to be on the narcissistic collapse, because I want to let you guys know that I'm not just on here giving advice about narcissistic abuse and the things that I've gone through as a child. I know what the child goes through with a narcissistic parent or a narcissistic family member. I have been that kid, and like many forms of abuse, you grow up and it follows you if you haven't healed from it, whether it be physical, mental, emotional, any kind of manipulation. If you haven't healed from it, the cycle will repeat itself. And so, having grown up around narcissists, I attracted them as an adult, and definitely married one. And I am not here to whine and cry about my experience. It's something that when I was going through it, I discovered gaslighting just on the fly, on looking up things, wondering why these people were saying things they were saying to me when I knew what was what and what was not. And they were trying to make me think that I was crazy, or the things that I saw weren't there, or we just want you to get help. We love you. We're on your side. If he did what he did, then he needs his ass beat. But it was really all manipulation. It wasn't any genuine care for me. It was still trying to infiltrate my mind to see what I really knew and what I really had against him, so that they could cover his tracks for him and try and save face, so that it didn't get out into the community how bad the things that he did to me really were. So I want you guys to be survivors. I don't want you to be thrown into the deep end. And there's a lot more out there about it now than when I started going through this. This was 2015, and nobody was talking about gaslighting, really. No one was really talking about narcissists. There was no TikTok where videos and things were popping up about it left and right. I had to figure all of this out on my own, and then learned that I had grown up in that and tried to, grab my bearings. And for the most part, I just worked hard. I got what I wanted in my divorce. I worked hard, kept my head down, and just knew that my character would speak for itself, and I didn't participate in combating any of the things that were said about me behind my back. Or out in the open, because Chattanooga was pretty small, so word travels fast, especially when you peddle the same script to anyone that will listen, and most people will, because it's salacious and they would rather hear the negative stuff than actually go and be genuine, caring person that lends a hand to someone that's being smeared. And that's what happened. So I worked 2 jobs, kept my head down, kept everything that I had fought for, and just didn't pay it much attention. I felt like the people that were for me would really know who I am, and I didn't really care what anybody that didn't reach out to me or give a shit what they thought anyway. So I stayed out of the way. This time was a lot different. This time it was very, very intrusive, because I went back to this person not having learned my lesson, having hope that they would change, not having healed yet from it. So I had Stockholm syndrome for members of my family, one of them, my uncle, and my ex-husband. I felt bad for them, and I knew that why they had done what they did to me was because they were hurt also, and I felt like I needed to throw myself under the bus to help them to heal, so that we could all be better. And then they would realize how much work that I did to help them, and then they would love me right. No, it doesn't happen like that. So this video talking about the collapse will let you know that when you learn your worth, when you identify things for what they are, and you finally walk away and close that karmic cycle, you there is light at the end of the tunnel, and there is life on the other side. They will eventually collapse. They will self implode, and this will happen. I want to give you hope that if you stay on the right track, if you go to God, if you do your work, look up shadow work, do the work on yourself to heal, go to therapy if you have to. I've gone to therapy a few times in my life, not for mental illness, like people think that I should, because I've had a mental health assessment and I have never been diagnosed by a mental health professional, only in the court of public opinion, and that is ludicrous. And I want to encourage all of you to stand up for yourself and not be backed in a corner when you expose people that have done wrong things to you, and they use that as a way to tear you down and to turn others against you. Stand up for yourself. Be your own advocate, your own biggest cheerleader. Obviously, I'm not talking out the side of my neck. If you've been involved with a narcissist, you know exactly what happens when you turn your back on them, or when you try to turn your back on them, when you try to walk away from the relationship, when you air out the laundry in any way. If you stand up for yourself and you don't swallow that jagged little pill that they're trying to make you swallow, to show you what you're worth, to tell you what you're worth, to make you accept that the way that they're treating you is what you deserve and that's all you're ever going to have. If you turn against that and you do anything other than go back to it and let the cycle keep going, they're going to run a smear campaign on you. They're going to go to everyone that you have credibility with, and they're going to try to tell them horrible things about you, and they're going to play the victim every single time. It never fails. This is why a lot of people go back, because they make those threats. Not only do you love them or have Stockholm syndrome, or you haven't healed yourself, and so you're repeating the cycle and you're not getting out of it, you haven't learned your lesson yet, you will be threatened that these things will happen if you don't drop what you say you're going to do, or stop standing up for yourself, or stop going back to them and letting them suck your energy dry. If you stop being their power source, they make those threats, and they will definitely recruit their flying monkeys and their minions as they play victim, and they will attack you. So they're not false threats. They will do it, and that's what happened this time around. They made good on their threats. They recruited lots of people, and I stood up for myself, and I said no more. I'm not going back to that. I will die first, and I think a lot of people would prefer me to have done that, but as I said in my last video, God says when that happens, not any of them. So as long as you stay true to your authentic self and to the work that you've done on yourself, and you stay in the light and you be a good person, God will make sure that you carry out this mission that He's put you on. You're right where He wants you to be. You are fighting the good fight. Don't give up on yourself. Don't give up on anything that you love. I had somebody ask me not too long ago when I was talking about this stuff, like, aren't you scared about the things that they do and the things that you've gone through? Like, doesn't it scare you? And as I've told you, I don't live in the spirit of fear. And even if I did, even if I wanted to let something scare me, they've already taken away. Everything that I was scared of happening has already happened. So there's nothing to be scared of. It didn't kill me, it made me stronger. And that's what I want for all of you guys. So just know that the collapse does come. For one, narcissists have a huge ego. It is their armor. It is their flashiness. It's what they make everybody think that they're great with. And when you get into a relationship with them, they love bomb you. You'll trauma bond. They'll build it up. It's this lovey-dovey, buying you gifts, calling you nonstop, making you think you are just the greatest thing on earth. So they are building you up. They're gassing you up, inflating your head, inflating your heart, making you think that they are just so in love with you. And in fact, narcissists will hardly ever, if ever, I don't think that it's possible unless they've entered some kind of healing phase and had accountability, which they run from accountability at all costs. So any sense of genuine love at um, like the traditional level is not possible because they lack empathy. And that's the dynamic, the narcissist empath dynamic. They go after people that don't have the qualities that they possess. They don't have the trait of empathy. So what they fall in love with is some version of the person that they've created in their head. So they will gas up that person. They will love bomb them constantly. They'll learn your love language and they will feed into it like crazy. And then when they can't hold that mask on forever, it will eventually slip off. And behind closed doors is where it comes off first, not to the public. They don't want the public to see the true version of themselves. They can't keep the mask on forever for everybody. It doesn't work. It's simply, no one can wear a mask forever. It will slip, but they will take it off in front of you behind closed doors and start to treat you how they really feel. They will take that love away. They'll abandon you. They'll put you down. They will cheat on you. They'll do all kinds of things that make you think that you are nothing in a second, like they don't know you. And that's supposed to make you feel like where did that person go? Where did that person go? What did I do? They'll start turning it on you and making you think that you did something wrong. That way you chase after them, you beg and you plead and you say you're sorry for things that you didn't even do. They'll gaslight you and make you think that you didn't really see what you saw. I wasn't cheating, you were cheating. They'll accuse you of it. They'll tell you that you didn't try hard enough, or you don't dress sexy enough, or whatever it is that you're complaining about that they're doing. They'll turn it around on you and tell you that it was their fault, your fault, that you did it. You made them do it, or you're not doing enough, or you need to try harder, or you need to apologize to me because you hurt me and that's why I did this, or I didn't really do this, it was all in your head. Those tactics happen over and over and over again until they get you where they want you, until they have you conditioned to be their little puppet. They will run off, disappear, have their other little supplies on the side, and they will feed them through their ego with your energy after they sucked you dry. And when that runs out, they'll come back for more, and they'll make you think that you're great again, and you'll just want that back so bad that you'll let them back in, or you'll think that the love that they gave or made you think that they had for you was real, and you want that back at any cost because they made it feel so great. The unhealed version of you will do that so many times, and until you break that cycle, until you step into your own power, take your energy back, completely back from these people, it will happen so many times. I don't want that for you guys. I want you to be survivors of this. I want you to come out the other side successfully. So just know, if you do that, it's rewarding in the way that you want to end that cycle, not only for yourself, but if you have children, you don't want it to keep perpetuating. You want to end that generational curse. And in cutting your energy off from these people and going no contact and not giving them energy, unless they found another you, and baby, there's no other you. There can be no other you. You are one of a kind. You are unique. God made you just the way you are and unlike anyone else on purpose, and you are a gift. They cannot find any other power source like you out there, because the reason that they chose you in the first place and kept trying to reel you back in is because of how magnificent your energy was in the first place and always was. So I don't care how many sources they have on the side. In the traditional sense, they have not fell in love with anybody except for the facade that they've built up in their head and in everybody else's head of the pretend person that they're trying to be to make everyone think of how great they are, when in fact they really don't know who the hell they are at all. That's why they have to pretend and use your energy. But they wouldn't be reeling you back in if they were able to genuinely fall in love with someone else, or if they had a better power source, a bigger, better, brighter light out there anywhere. Once you cut that off, there's no one else that can feed them the way that you have fed them. If they do, it's only temporarily. They're gonna have to face the reality. They'll be very angry. They'll be very attacking of you and your character. They will go on the I'm a Victim World Tour, and eventually it will stop selling tickets. Because if you just keep being who you are and living your true, genuine, healed, authentic self, minding your own business and not hurting anyone, not lashing out, not reacting to all of the things that they've taken away from you, their love, which wasn't real in the first place, all of the things that they've used as weapons, your children, taking your friends, your family, going to your jobs, whatever that they might have tried to take or did take from you. When that stuff isn't bothering you, go look up temperance. Be the temperance angel, guys and gals. Don't react. Don't give them what they want. Don't let them push your buttons anymore. If you are actually healing and you have actually done the work on yourself, you are going to be so emotionally mature. Isolate to do that. I have other videos on that too. Look it up. Isolate to do your shadow work and your healing. That way there's no other influences. It's just you and it's God, and it's going to hurt, but it's worth it. So if you are really doing that work on yourself, the things that they do are not going to make you feel the same way that they used to be. Your triggers won't be there anymore. You won't need them for anything. Even if they've taken things away from you, doesn't mean you're not going to be sad. It doesn't mean that you don't need to give that hurt the time and space that it needs and let it go. It's not going to be there for them to continuously lash you with and hurt you with over and over and over. When someone lives in a state of gratitude and positivity, and they exude love even for their enemies and pray for them, at their core, the haters hate that. People hate that light. They can't do anything about it because that is yours and yours alone. That belongs to you. That is who you are. So it's not going to work anymore. They're going to hate that. So let them try. Let them be the grown child that's throwing a tantrum all over the place. That mask will fall off. People will stop listening to all the lies because you are proving who you are every day just by existing and not playing their games, not having a game of your own. You just are living, genuinely living the life that God gave you, and you're being appreciative of that, and you're loving what you have left, and you're creating all of that self-love for yourself. So them taking their love away isn't going to matter a bit, because your love for yourself is real, and anything that you build on that new foundation is real. The people that you attract with that self-love are going to give you real love back. Real other human beings that are also healed and aren't out to play games with you are going to flock to you. They are going to love that light. They are going to search for what you're searching for, which is someone to love them that is not going to hurt them. It's going to be amazing, the people that you will attract once you're vibrating high off of that self-love and you are not living in the low vibration of hating on them and what they did to you. It's not going to matter anymore. And so just like you are healed, you're going to attract other healed people. So that's a beautiful thing in itself. Whether you're looking for love, platonic relationships, just healthy relationships in general. You are not going to be in that cycle of abuse anymore. And the people that are attracted to you are going to be of your caliber. So look forward to that. That's worth it all in itself. But when you cut them off from your energy and they don't have, the older a narcissist gets, if they're in their player ways, they want to stay a player forever. Unless you're George Clooney or Leonardo DiCaprio and you got lots of money and you are just drop dead gorgeous, which they all probably think they are in their head. You're not going to be able to be a player forever. You pushing 40, 50, you're not going to be able to run game. You're not going to be able to pull shardies. You're gonna have to settle for what you can get. And if you haven't beat someone down that's gonna let you make them feel worthless for the rest of their lives, then they're gonna be alone and they're not gonna be able to have girls flocking to them on Tinder the way that they used to. They're not gonna be able to call up exes. They're gonna all have seen their true colors and have turned their back on them, and hopefully have done the work on themselves and attracted a fabulous partner that they deserve and can reciprocate their wonderful love, and not pay these people any mind, as they shouldn't. But you've starved them of your energy and of your love. They can't find anyone else. Their parents that have parents, loved ones, any friends that they haven't burnt to a crisp, that felt obligated to clean up their messes and wipe their butts, will have either gone away, grown older, they have their own responsibilities, or they will have passed away. I wouldn't advise cleaning up a narcissist mess for too long, especially after you've done it for so many times, because you start implicating yourself. And so if they've done something wrong, obviously, if they're found out, and they eventually will be, you're going to be right there with it. You're going to be right there with them. So by association, by you standing up for them and vouching for their character, which will no doubt be proven as a bad fruit, low-hanging fruit, you don't want to be there. You don't want to be there. So save yourself. Don't go down with the ship. Once you cut them off and they can't find a new supply, they are going to be faced with themselves. This is what we want. And I don't say that to be mean. I'm not saying I want them to be shriveled up and in that corner and thinking that they're worthless. No, what I want by having them cut off, the no contact, the no new supplies, is for them to have to isolate and be forced to do their shadow work and be forced to crack open from all of the ego, all of the defense mechanisms that they've built up as armor, all of the masks that they've worn. You want them to crack open so that they have to do the shadow work. They are forced to turn to going through the dark night of the soul. Look up Dark Night of the Soul. I have videos on that. I think it's probably hidden, but it has to do with shadow work. If you're in the spiritual community, you know already. But force them to do their shadow work. Force them to go through the dark night of the soul so that they can heal and they can make amends with the things that they've done to other people. They can face the traumas that they've gone through as little kids. They can start learning about self-love. They can start doing that inner child work, the things that they need to do on their own that you could never save them from, that you could, but you don't want to self-sacrifice yourself with someone that, if they still have you around, are not going to do the work. They need to be alone. They need to go through the dark night of the soul. They need to heal their inner child wounds, all of those traumas that they went through that made them do what they did to you and to lots of other people. You want that cycle to stop. You want them to wake up. There's lots of channels on YouTube of people. Narcissistic abuse is actually in the DSM now. It is an actual diagnosis, and there are recovering narcissists that have channels on YouTube that you can watch if you are a narcissist. Don't hate on me. Go out and watch the people that have woken up, that have started doing the work, that know that they're narcissists and that they have treated people horribly, and realize that there were traumas that caused them to be that way, that they were enabled by people, that they fed off multiple sources that kept them going and kept them from actually going within and waking up. You want them to do that. They can seek out help. They can isolate and do the work all on their own. They can cling to God or whoever their power source is, and they can heal from these things. And therefore, they're not doing it to you anymore. They're not doing it to someone else anymore. They're not living their life that way. And in turn, stopping that generational curse, that abuse from perpetuating to their children, their children's children, making it end with them. So that's what we want. We want you to be free, but we ultimately want them and their children and other people out there that have don't have the strength yet or haven't healed from it to keep happening to them. We want to stop the hurt. This is how we raise the vibrations of this planet, is we love ourselves. We pray for others. We want them to love themselves. We want everyone to heal. And yes, that is ideal, and that's, well, in a perfect world, but that's what we're striving for. It's hard work, but we all need to put in that hard work on ourselves so that we stop hurting ourselves and hurting each other, and without even knowing, sometimes hurting the people closest to you that you love, hurting your children. Think about how long generational curses go on without being healed. Don't you want to say that you were strong enough, that you had faith in yourself and faith in God, that you could get there, and that it stopped with you, and that all of these people that could have been hurt were not hurt because you decided to put in the work? It won't last forever. The hurt won't last forever. It's different for everyone else because you're going to go the pace, depending on how much work you're willing to put in, how long you stick with it. If you get off course correct, go back to it, get right back on that horse. Nobody's perfect. I don't expect anyone to be perfect, but if you put in the work and you stick with it, you will get through the dark night of the soul. You will awaken to the things that you've done to yourself and to others, and you can recover from whatever you're going through, whatever it is, whether it be narcissism, whether it be addiction, whether it be just whatever it is that you have used to cover up the band-aids, use as band-aids to cover up your hurts and your traumas. You can't, it's a choice. It's a choice. I got into an argument one time with someone that was having trouble not drinking because they became a totally different person when they drank. And I felt called to tell them how they would be a much better person if they would stop drinking. And they say, I can't, my car just pulls in that parking lot after work every day. And I can identify with that. I'm not saying, oh, it's easy. It's easy. Just go home, don't drink. No, I know how hard it is to stop doing things that make you feel better when you don't want to concentrate on the pain, that you don't know how to fix it, that you don't have a clue where to start. I know how hard it is. I've had lots of my own struggles in my life, but I did start on the healing path. I did go to God. I started building that strong foundation with Him, putting one foot in front of the other every day to make it through my past traumas, to make it through my current traumas. And I did the work, and it was so worth it. And I know, as rebuilding my life with God, that nothing's perfect. We're all a work in progress. It will never end. But once you start and you go through the worst part, it is beautiful. It is beautiful, you guys. So embrace that. Embrace it and go after it. Love yourself with every ounce of your being. Don't stop. Fill the cups of others with the overflow after you have filled your own cup to the brim with your self-love. Always fill the cups of others with the overflow. Don't deplete yourself to fill the cups of others. put that work into you, heal yourself so that you don't hurt yourself and hurt others. I want to encourage you all to do that today. I know that you can do it. I have done it. And like I said, it's not easy, but it's so worth it to commit yourself to that. I encourage you to reach out to your higher power for you to journal, look up transmuting negative energy, to, eat right, drink lots of water, get good rest, take care of yourself, and work on your shadow work. Identify your triggers, work on them. Don't perpetuate the trauma and abuse. I have faith in all of you because I have faith in God, and He's worked on me so much. He has helped me through so much, which is why I'm doing this channel. And I want all of that for you guys too. So I love you. God loves you. This is not a horribly long video today. You're never alone, and I will see you later. Bye.